What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the Figma or Good Smile Company Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Kugisaki Nobara. And you guys already know when it's JJK, I am extremely excited because right now this is one of my favorite animes. So let's not waste any time and dive straight into the sexy packaging. Now, just like the SHF, the box theme color is red, and you got images of Nobara all alongside it. You got her right here getting ready to attack. We've got her in a vanilla pose right here. Of course, you got the window where you can see the figure. We got her up top using her cursed technique. I love these effects, man. On the bottom, we got her attacking again. On this side, just a little signature smile. And then, of course, on the back, we got some poses you can get the figure into, as well as the accessories and a bunch of stuff I can't read because I imported this. So let's stop wasting time and bust this figure open, because if you're here, I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am. And a lot of you probably want to know if it's better than the SHF. Now, first things first, straight out of the package, I gotta say that this figure actually turned out to be much better looking than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan when I saw that they were going to sculpt most of the figure and then the skirt was going to be soft goods. That's just not something I'm into. I know most Figma collectors are getting used to it now because they're doing that more and more with not just their female figures, but quite a few of their releases. It's just not something I'm into, but it didn't turn out too bad. The skirt is only a tad bit darker than the shirt, but I don't think that's much of a problem. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but obviously it is going to help when it comes to articulation, and we'll cover that later. The head sculpt is probably the weakest thing about this figure, only because I was spoiled by the SHF. And that's not to say that it's bad at all. I just don't think it looks as good. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much until a little bit later. First off, let's go ahead and take a closer look at her. Now, taking a look at Queen Kugisaki, this figure looks really dang good, as I expected it to, because Figma usually delivers when it comes to anime characters. There are some gripes that I have about it, which I'll get to those when I get to them, but first off, that head sculpt looks really nice. I don't think they captured as much of that anime expression as the SHF. I feel like the Figma does look a tad bit more plain, while the SHF definitely captures those exaggerated expressions that we normally get from Nobara. Also, there's a little bit more sculpt work in the hair, making it look a lot less plain on the SHF rather than the Figma. And the SH hair is more on the orangish side, like a brownish orange, versus this one is just straight brown. But I'm not going to compare these two too much. They are different lines. If you guys want that comparison video, just let me know. Now, one other issue that I have with the Figma is that there is no bicep swivel, so you're really not going to be able to get her in too many poses that you might want to be able to get her into, just because of the way that they did the arms. There's no butterfly joint and there's no bicep swivel, so like the most you can do is you can bring her arms in, no problem, but those going out and moving all around crazy poses, it's just not going to happen with her, unfortunately. I'll touch more on that once we get to the articulation, but down to the skirt, man, I think that everything looks good. The sculpt work isn't too bad. It also, it's not too much of a different blue than the shirt, and I'm pretty sure with the right lighting, you won't even be able to tell the difference. And last but not least, since the legs are so plain, there's really no point in covering that, it's these shoes. I think that the shoes look better on this one than the SHF. On the SHF, I always thought that they were a tad bit too big. These look more like a female-esque character's type of shoe size, I guess you can say. I don't know. But overall, it's a decent looking figure, man. Like I said, some problems, but it looks nice at least. Anyway, let's go ahead and put her back so we can see how tall she stands. Now, for the height of Kugisaki to the top of her head, she is just shy of 5.5 inches, which is fine, considering the fact that most of these figures are about 6-inch scale, male characters especially. I think that's perfectly fine, but of course, we will see how she scales with some other figures later on in the video. Moving on to the articulation, she looks up about that much, but of course you get that ugly joint when she looks up, so I don't think that's good at all. There's really no way to hide it. just because of how small her neck is. So yeah, I wish they would have just done the double hinge and been okay with that, but made it a tad bit smaller. That looks really bad. She looks down until the chin touches the collar. That's not too bad. She does get really good rocker and everything. Arms only go up and out about that much. So those T poses are just not really going to work. You can move them all around, but that's about as much as you get. As I showed earlier, you can bring the hands in. Kamehameha poses are not going to be a problem. Throwing poses for her nails, whatever you want to use them for. But then when you're trying to bring the arm up, you're going to run into a problem. This is as far back as you can bring it without the arm popping off. So yeah, and I did that on purpose for you guys to see. This really limits her articulation, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. Her elbows are on a single hinge, but they do get double jointed range, so that's good. But some of those behind the head poses are just not really going to work. Her hands are also on a hinge, which this is a pretty sturdy hinge, so you can move those around almost freely. At the rocker, I think that's a double ball peg. I'm not entirely sure, but this moves around very, very well. Leaning back, leaning forward, rocker, all that good stuff. Now, this is where everything gets the best. She can kick all the way up. So if you want to pose Nobara kicking someone in the face, you can totally do it. She can also do the splits, but she has that issue, the same issue as Yuji and Megumi. Actually, Gojo had it too, where if you pull too much, the legs will pop off, but you just pop them back on and then here you go. So splits, no problem. She does have a built-in thigh swivel. Not the best, but it is effective. In terms of the knees, they bend about that much, which I think that's perfectly fine. Her foot goes down very, very far. Up very, very far, ankle rocker and toe hinge. So articulation wise, very good. It's decent. Well, I'm not gonna say very good, decent, because that arm articulation is really going to ruin everything, especially if you like those dynamic poses. There's just quite a bit of limitation there. Some of it is a little bit workaroundable. I just made up a word, workaroundable, but a lot of it is not. So yeah, just be wary of that. Now, when it comes to the accessories, she comes with quite a few. This is how she comes in the package. You have a pair of relaxed hands and then her neutral expression. She automatically looks battle ready because 9 times out of 10 she is. She comes with her signature grinning face, which I think this looks good. And then she also comes with her yelling face, which I don't think this one is as good. It's not bad, but I think it could be a little bit better. The lipstick also isn't painted very well on this face. That could just be mine though. She does also come with her hammer. She comes with a cursed energy effect technique. I'm not sure if this is the same as Yuji's. On the bottom of mine, as you guys can see, it's not completely translucent. Actually, it's like completely blue, and then it fades into translucentness. I think I just made up another word. Yo, translucentness. I need to write a dictionary. Anyway, she comes with her straw doll, which I think this is dope. Then she comes with these pieces right here for her straw doll, or real ones know what these are for, but I'm not going to tell you. And she comes with several sets of hands. As you guys can see, she comes with a pair of nail holding hands. These actually have peg holes in them. I hope you guys can see that, for you to stick these needles in there. Not needles, nails. And these are sharp, yo. She comes with 6 of these. You can only stick 2 in each hand. So Figma was smart enough to give us an extra 2 in case you drop these on carpet. Because if you do, it is a wrap. But be careful, man. These are literally very sharp. Anyway, she comes with a pair of fist hands, a pair of weapon holding hands, and then she comes with a pair of relaxed hands, and I'll show them from this side also. So yeah, she definitely comes with an array of accessories. So I'm happy about that. Moving on to size comparisons, here she is standing next to the SH Figuarts version of all the Jujutsu Kaisen characters, well, at least her teammates. We have her standing next to Yuji Itadori, the Fushiguro Megumi, and of course Satoru Gojo. Now here she is standing next to a couple of Figmas. We have her standing next to the Figma Jujutsu Kaisen Yuji Itadori, who I currently have posed up as Sukuna in a JoJo pose. Don't ask me why. I also have her standing next to Satoru Gojo, who is also by Figma, and I had to throw him in somewhere. So here she is also standing next to the SH Figuarts Yuta Okotsu. Now here she is standing next to a couple of queens. We have her standing next to the number 3 character in the Naruto popularity poll, SH Figuarts, Sakura Haruno. We have her standing next to another queen. I had to throw her in only because Demon Slayer is back, baby. Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 3. We have her standing next to none other than Nezuko Kamado. And last, we had to put this one in here, the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Nobara Kugisaki, or basically herself. And I threw this in here just for you guys to see that the SHF is a tad bit taller than the Figma. Last but not least, here she is standing next to a few other female figures from different lines. We have her standing next to the Marvel Legends Spinneret, or Mary Jane, who I just realized looks extremely damn buff, yo. Like, she looks swole, like Ronda Rousey swole. I don't know, man. Is that accurate? If any of my Marvel people are here. Anyway, she's also standing next to the Mafex or Metacom Toys Batman Hush Huntress, which is one of my favorite figures that has released this year so far. I love this thing. And then last but not least, we have her standing next to none other than the Boku no Hero Academia Figma Ochiko. And as you can see, Nobara is a tad bit taller, which I think she's supposed to be. So all in all, man, this is a pretty cool figure. And it's just about the same as most of the other Jujutsu Kaisen stuff we've gotten from Figma. It's decent. It's, in my opinion, not nearly as good as the SHF, but it does have some things that I like better. First of all, she comes with a cursed energy effect, which that right there is a plus already. And then on top of that, she comes with her straw doll. I think those are very great additions that made this figure worth picking up alone. But she doesn't come with as many faceplates. Also, the nails that you can put into the hands, I don't really see any point in those because you can't plug them into the straw doll. And other than that, they're pretty much there for you to lose them. I don't know what they would be for other than that, man. And one other issue I have is, hopefully this is just mine, but on the cursed energy effect, it shows on the instructions that you're actually I'm going to show you guys. It shows on the instructions that you're supposed to have the fist hand on when you put the accessory on her, but it does not work, yo. The hole or the gap is just way too big in mine. It's almost like it's made to fit a very big fist, and so it doesn't go on at all. Actually, what I had to do was tuck in the wrist peg and then push it onto the sleeve, and that's how I've got it on her right now, which makes her arm looks like it's a little too short. And then also the shoulder articulation, they go up a little bit more than I said, which is why I have it posed this way right now. You can get her in T poses, but you're not going to get anything much higher than what I have right now. So articulation limitations, the issue with the accessory, personally, I don't really care for the skirt. These are all things that I think make the SH Figuarts better, but the skirt piece is subjective just because I know some people will like the fact that she's more articulated in the legs due to the way they did the skirt on this one, and maybe they just like soft goods. But overall, it's a solid figure. I think it's worth picking up. Honestly, if you have the SH Figuarts, I'd say stick with that one, but if you've already dove into the Figma realm, then why not? It's cool. I don't think the faces look as good either, but again, personal opinion. But overall, yeah, good figure. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.